What's up everyone, my name is Trevor and I am the Gaming Goomba. As you can see, we're in sort of a different kind of setup today. We're doing something a little bit different. This video is not scripted, I'm completely off the cuff. No, don't worry, it's not gonna stay that way. This is just a one-time thing. So today I wanted to show you guys around my game room. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while, but I wasn't ready to call it complete because there were still a couple more things and pieces that I wanted to get set up before I did an official game room tour video, but I'm finally there. Now this is something I've wanted for a long time, but I was either living at home and didn't have the space or the money, or when I actually did move out last year, but it was into a very, very, very tiny apartment. If you go back and watch some of my old videos, where I'm filming with my computer desk behind me, that was actually in my living room. Like my office, living room, dining room was all one room. It was like 600 square feet. It was a very super tiny apartment. But at the end of that lease, we opted to finally move into a bigger house with roommates. So we decided to get roommates so we could have a bigger house rather than being by ourselves in a small apartment. And I'm happy with that. I'm definitely digging what I'm able to do with all this extra space. So without further ado, let's take a deep dive in to my game room. All right, so we're gonna start off from left to right and work our way this way. So starting off here on the left side of the TV, I got my Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild canvas. I found it at Ross. Looks pretty sweet, I liked it, so I picked it up. Also down here, I just recently obtained this. I was at a game store and it was up on top of a case with games and stuff, and I had a price tag on it for $20. So I asked the guy who was working the counter at the time, and I said, "Hey, it's got the price tag on it. Can I buy it?" And he looked really confused, and he was like, "Well, it's got a price tag on it, so if you want it, you can buy it." So I picked it up, did some research when I got home, and the only listing I could find for it was on eBay for $500, and I found out it was from Toys R Us. Now, the one that was on eBay was brand new, so I don't think that this one is worth $500, but it's still pretty cool. I'm glad I picked it up. I think it was worth $20. All right, moving over here on the left side of the TV, we've got this HyperX Joy-Con charging dock that my friend got me for Christmas a few years ago. It's pretty sweet. Got some PlayStation 4 controllers. All right, now we're gonna move down here to the bottom left section of my TV stand. I don't have a massive game collection. I'm just now trying to build it up. I'm more proud of my consoles than my games itself, but I think the rarest game we have over here is probably DuckTales. I've also got Contra in terms of NES games. I've got a lot of the games on the N64 that I played on as a kid. I'm collecting for my N64 for much longer than the NES. But I mainly just wanted to get everything on the N64 that I played on as a kid. I know that lack of end labels is terrible, but what are you gonna do? I mean, I've got like Donkey Kong 64 there, you can see on the left. I've also got Super Smash Bros., Mario Kart, and you know, all the basics that you need for your N64. I've also got a couple Super Nintendo games down here, a couple of Sega Genesis games, and a couple of Atari 2600 games up there. I'm not sure how well you can see it. Down here are my movies. I'm a big movie guy. I've got every single episode of Star Wars on Steelbook. I don't know how well you can see that, but the dark section in the middle here. Oh, there's the cat. Cat wanted to say hello. And to get inside my movies. Okay, that's cool. Also above the TV, this isn't super gaming related, but the frame matched the other frames that I have on this wall. Got Spider-Man up here, so yeah. All right, over here on the right side of the TV stand, I've got my new consoles. You could probably guess which one gets played more than the other. My friend Zach gave me this Young Link sticker that I've got on the dock here, so shout out to Zach for the Young Link sticker. It looks fantastic. PlayStation 4, as I said, does not get played nearly as much as the Switch. I got the PlayStation 4 to play Spider-Man when it came out, and I beat that, loved it, and I haven't really touched it much since. Down below that, on the right side here, we've got some box Genesis games. My copy of Shaq Fu in the box is the prized edition of my collection. Got some GameCube games, some Wii and Wii U games, and a couple of 3DS games back there, but not gonna dig into that. The most games I have, these are all my Switch games down here. I got a ton of them. And up here in individual bags, I have all the cables for my retro consoles that I don't have hooked up. And I've got each console has its own bag, so I don't have to go digging around for them. I actually just did that today because I wanted to play some NES, and it took me like 20 minutes to dig out all the cables, so I did that today. All right, now as we move on from the TV area that we've looked at, we get to one of my favorite parts of the collection, which is my shelf with all my retro consoles and little knickknacks and things like that. I've also got a canvas up here of Link. I think this is Ocarina of Time Link. Also got this from Ross. My brother gave it to me a few years back Christmas, so shout out to my brother for that. Looks fantastic. Also got this at Target like last week. It was like 10 bucks, so I thought it was pretty cool. So I picked it up. We'll start up top here. So this is actually my dad's and uncle's NES. It was broken. The spring mechanism in it wouldn't work. So whenever you went to push this down, it wouldn't stay down. So it got fixed. Good as new, still working. Also got some Hanafuda cards, original, that Nintendo still makes. I had a informational speech for my college public speaking class this past semester, and I had to have a visual aid, so I took that as an excuse to buy some more Nintendo stuff. So I bought some $30 Hanafuda cards. Also got the greatest video game movie of all time up here, Super Mario Brothers, the movie, starring Bob Hoskins as Mario and John Leguizamo as Luigi. Don't try to at me on that. Moving it down a level, we've got the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Also was my dad's and my uncle's when they were growing up. There's some other little knickknacks on there. Moving down, we've got the Atari 2600 Junior. This is $30, and the actual wood grain Atari 2600 is like 60 or 70, and it's like a 50-50 chance of that working, so I decided to go with the Atari 2600 Junior. Moving down below, we've got the PlayStation 1. I had this growing up. This is not the one I had growing up, but I did have one growing up. I found this at a Goodwill for $10, and I just went and gathered up some cables around my house, and got a PlayStation 1 for $10. Pretty sweet. Moving on. Our Sega Genesis, I got at a game store a couple years ago. I think I paid like $20 for it. And it had, controller, all the cables, everything I needed for it. So, pretty sweet. Got some boxes back there for the NES and SNES Classic Editions. Up here is my favorite video game console of all time, the Nintendo 64. I traded in my NES that I had been collecting for years. I had like 30 games. I wish I didn't do that, but I traded that in to get the Nintendo 64 because I figured I'd rather collect for the system that I actually had growing up, and I didn't have a Nintendo 64 anymore. So I traded in my NES and got the Nintendo 64. Down here, we've got the GameCube. This was actually my sister's. I think I bought it from her pretty recently, but it was my sister's growing up. I think I got it for her for like $20 or $30. So we got that from. Got a couple knickknacks down here with the Super Nintendo and Nintendo Entertainment System mini consoles. And we got the portables down here. I got that Game Boy on eBay for like 30 bucks. That Game Boy SP is the one I actually grew up with though. And then we've got the 2DS XL. We all know about that. Made a video about it. And then we've got the DSi XL. It's the 25th anniversary Mario edition. It's actually my fiance's and I stole it from her. And if you couldn't tell already, this, I bumped into my light. This entire setup is kind of like a staircase. I actually ordered a fathead that was gonna go here on the end, and it was a fathead of a flagpole for Mario. Mario was on top, so I wanted it to kind of be like a staircase from the end of a Mario level, then have the flagpole at the end, but that didn't exactly work out because I ordered it like 3.5 weeks ago and it still hasn't got here, and I'm impatient and I wanted to make the video. So that is my collection of retro game consoles and other knickknacks. Also got the soundtrack for Super Smash Bros. U down here that you got if you bought both the 3DS and the Wii U game within like 3 or 4 months of release. Never opened it, have no reason to, and yeah. Alright, over here, these probably look familiar because I've been filming my last couple videos in front of them, are 3 terrible decisions that I've made. So the Galaga machine I actually got for Christmas this past Christmas. I got it from my parents, and they thought I was dumb for being an adult and wanting an arcade machine, but I want an arcade machine, damn it, so that's what I got. And then I got my tax returns, and I was like, hey, let me get this Marvel cabinet. It's pretty cool. So that wasn't probably the best decision. And then I was at Walmart one day and I saw this Pac-Man machine, and they're actually super hard to find these days, so I thought it actually made sense to get the Pac-Man machine, but that was just me trying to justify it because probably shouldn't have been buying another one of these, but I wanted a Pac-Man one and it looks cool. Also above the arcade machines, I've got my autograph photo of the greatest arcade video game player of all time, Billy Mitchell, personalized to me, Trevor Never Surrender, ever signed Billy Mitchell, the video game player of the century. My friend Sean from the Van Buren 20 YouTube channel actually did a video with him, and he had it signed for me and shipped it over to me. So thank you, Sean Van Buren 20, for obtaining this awesome autograph photo of Billy Mitchell for me. And last, but certainly not least, because this is the couch that I do all of my gaming on, of course I've got player 2 over here, Mario. He's by my side for every single video game that I play. And this was the last piece of the collection. I really wanted to have a coffee table, and I also went on eBay and I found some old Nintendo Power magazines, one for Super Mario 64 and one for Star Fox 64. And this is the Zelda Hyrule Historia. This was the first purchase that I made with my very first paycheck. I always thought they looked really cool, but I could never justify spending $30 of my birthday money on a book. So then I got my first paycheck at my first job, and I was like, you know what? I want Hyrule Historia. Well, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed me touring you around my little slice of nerd heaven that I built back here as much as I did. I promise next week we'll get back to regular, standard, scripted, structured videos. I just wanted to take a little break to show you guys what I've been working on. And as always, if you like what you saw here today, make sure you click that like button, leave a comment, and let me know what you thought. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you can get notified every single time I make a new video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.